this morning. Special thanks to Chuck and his entire crew for serving as great hosts as we host the Senator. It's Joe time. Senator Joe Griffo, this is your concept to bring people in. They get to ask you questions. Some of these questions have been asked off mic. Some people don't want their stuff on the air. This reminds me of, and I know he was a Democrat, but this is kind of a Daniel Patrick Moynihan moment for you. He liked to come out there and...
there's booze on the other table, so this
that's why I'm saying it. In comes the... I'm not sure his drink of choice was a beer, but...
county exec can remember a few stories about some of the Moynihan visits, but it's good to have the county exec here. I always say, having had the experience in different levels of government, we're very fortunate to have Tony in office. In fact, I've said he's the best county executive, better than the guy that was there before him, and he's done an extraordinary job, not only in leading the county, but developing this team that we're all on, from Tony and then the assemblyman and myself and the congressman. I think we've put together a pretty good team. I want to thank him for stopping by. Thanks for your leadership, Tony. And people always talk about how impeccably dressed he is. He is definitely the best dressed. And somebody said, well, he must look at GQ every morning and then dress. It's just the opposite. GQ calls Tony to find out what's hot and what's stylish.
He's setting the standard here. That's nice. It's pretty good.
That's right.
All right. The county executive, and we were just the other day talking about, where is the nano, where are the jobs, and where's the funding for this? And then before we knew it, it was like the next day. I don't know what you did, but the next day the story came out and the funding was approved.
Well, I think, first of all, thanks for having me. And Joe, I want to thank Joe for everything he's done, not just for the community, but for me. And we've worked for years together. We're tied in many ways, the family and otherwise. But and I ran his first campaign.
That's right.
That was the other thing. But it's way back when.
Nano. It's happening. I mean,
it's happened.
The money's been.
The money's been. Yeah, the money's been.
You
moved.
have to think that what's been going on with.
Look, it's fair to say that whenever something happens, and Joe can attest to this, being in Albany on a daily basis, he sees what can happen just when things get questioned or whatever, and times do get slowed down. But the process for the nano money and everything was kept on track. It's just the process that has to be, has to go through for money to be moved, and especially when you're talking a small grant, and things have to be in place. So that gets moved. The Quad C money gets moved, and we're moving forward. And the power lines, the water and sewer connections being made up there and starting to be worked on. So you're going to see a lot of progress at Marcy in the next several weeks and months, and jobs will follow.
Anything you want to add there?
No, I think that we've all done what we need to do. From the county exec, the state reps, we're working together, and we have done everything that we can possibly do, and now the process has to continue. So there's always going to be some doubters and some cynicism, but I think we have really proven and delivered. And now, as the county exec has said, I think you're going to see things happening, and things are moving. It's just sometimes at a snail's pace, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does. It just look, economic development is never easy. It takes time, but it also is a process. And you're not building a pole barn here.
Yeah.
You're building a massive chip fab plant that really needs to have the design in place, all of the approvals in place, and that's what we've been working on for a number of years, so that when it's time to be built, it just gets built. And so that's going to take its time. And but in the next couple of years, AMS has a very aggressive time schedule, and we're pleased with that, because that means the work will get done on a quick basis, and people will get hired at that time. So 2 years from now, we'll be sitting here, we'll be talking about those jobs.
And we were just tallying up the money that's been injected into this community, and it's it's over $1 billion.
It is,
and that's not totaling everything, but it's over $1 billion.
Yeah, and that doesn't count all what's been done. And Joe's a member, as I am, of the REDC, in terms of what's been allocated for a variety of other projects that have enhanced our downtowns and other businesses. So a lot of good stuff happening.
And we have positioned the community, like through Tony's leadership and our team effort. We talk about cybersecurity, position the community, take advantage of that with the drones. I know people don't like to use the word drones, but people know that.
We ought to.
Yeah. And also here with nanotechnology. So I think that we are positioning the community properly, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to bring in somebody that really would probably want to talk to you about how incredible last night was in Philadelphia. And here is the Assemblyman, Anthony Brindisi from Philly. Good morning, Anthony.
I'm so honored to be on Joe Time right now. You can't even imagine.
You're on. You are officially on Joe Time, and I'm going to try to get you in the best way I can here.
It's not Joe Biden either.
Yeah, you're talking. You're talking to a big Joe Time, a big Trump supporter here now, Anthony.
I saw those Joe signs last night. I thought they were for me, Anthony.
What do you think?
Could you bring me one of those Joe signs?
It's been a whole week since I've talked to Joe, so I'm having Joe withdrawals. So I'm very happy to be on with him.
Can you bring me a Joe sign back from the convention?
I have a Joe sign from last night. It's a Joe Biden sign, but it still says Joe, so we can say.
Yeah, you could use that. Yeah, you could totally use that. And by the way, since the senator has endorsed Donald Trump, we have Trump rally outside Daylight Donuts right now. It's crazy.
Is it the same people that were rallying last week when I was in the studio?
That's exactly the same people.
Well, ask them how they feel about their presidential candidate asking Russia to commit espionage against the country. How do they think about that?
I'll ask that question for you. Listen, tonight is Hillary's speech. Enjoy that, and we'll see you back here.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Assemblyman Anthony Brindisi. It's the only way I could get him in is bringing him in on my iPhone as we're out here on location. But interesting, this convention, these two conventions.
Both of them.
Crazy. Gentlemen.
I think after tonight, people will want to vote for either Chelsea or Ivanka. I mean, that's probably what it's going to come down to.
Or, I got to tell you, I think the one that's really thinking about running is Michelle Obama after her speech. Who knows? Got a break. Hold tight. We'll come back. It's Joe Time. We're at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Thanks to the county executive and everybody else that's made it in. We're going to talk a little beer here in a second. Hold tight. Coming right back at WIBX.